It starts with something so simple. The quiet hush of the night, the fading footsteps of a long day finally coming to rest, and then that familiar sound, the soft thump of your dog hopping onto the bed. Maybe it's a ritual that's repeated every evening, without fail. Or maybe it only happens when storms are brewing or loneliness creeps in. But that moment, when your dog chooses your bed as their sanctuary, it carries a depth we often overlook. There's something ancient in the way it feels. As your dog curls up beside you, the room shifts. It becomes warmer, softer, more secure. If you pay attention, if you really listen, you might notice something extraordinary. Your breathing slowing to match theirs, heartbeats subtly aligning like a lullaby only the two of you can hear. It's not your imagination. A 2021 study involving over 1,000 Australian dog owners confirmed that this bond intensifies during shared sleep. It's a reflection of primal instincts, dating back to wolves sleeping in close packs, trusting each other with their vulnerability and survival through the night. That silent closeness has been encoded into their hearts and ours across generations. Yes, some people worrying. A twitch of a paw here, a dream-induced bark there. They ask if it disturbs the sleep cycle. And scientifically, sometimes it does. Our brains are sensitive to movement, and frequent disruptions can cloud memory and dull cognition over time. But for most, that's a trade worth making. Because in the midst of tossing and turning, there's something else happening, a quiet message being sent. You're not alone. I'm here. And sometimes, that reassurance is more powerful than a perfect 8 hours of sleep. It's comfort. It's grounding. It's a reason to exhale. For people who live with the weight of trauma or anxiety, the impact is even greater. Imagine those nights, the ones filled with racing thoughts, tight chests, and hearts that feel like they're sprinting. Now imagine a warm body sidling up, pressing gently against your side. A slow, steady breath. A reassuring presence that says more than words ever could. Service dogs trained for PTSD support often sleep right next to their humans, not just for comfort, but as therapy. Their presence soothes the nervous system, signaling that the night is safe, that the world is quiet, that rest is possible. For many, it's the difference between waking up trembling and waking up whole. Their dog becomes a tether to peace, an anchor in the waves of a restless mind. But it's not just the heart that benefits. Some researchers believe our bodies might, too. There's a theory that growing up and sleeping close to dogs introduces our immune systems to a broader spectrum of harmless microbes. These exposures may actually train the body, lowering the likelihood of allergies in children. In households where dogs are more than just pets, where they're companions, shadows, co-sleepers, children often show stronger immune responses and fewer sensitivities. That said, for people with compromised immune systems or respiratory conditions, the close quarters might be too much. The risk of bacteria, allergens, or parasites, while rare, is real. Like most things in life, it's about balance. And perhaps washing the sheets a little more often. Maybe wiping down paws before bedtime. A small price for a deep bond. Then there's the question no one really asks out loud. Why do dogs want to sleep with us in the first place? It's not convenience. It's love, loyalty, familiarity. Your scent woven into the very fabric of your blankets, soaked into the pillow, drifting in the air is the most comforting thing your dog knows. That's why they nestle under your covers, drape themselves across your legs, or press their spine firmly against yours. These aren't just sleeping positions. They're declarations of trust. Little rituals of intimacy that say, this is home. This is safe. Some dogs choose to sleep by your feet, quietly watching the door like silent, steadfast guardians. Their presence there is almost ceremonial, a protective ritual carried out night after night. Their eyes remain alert even in slumber, their breathing steady but ready to shift at the slightest sound. It's as if they're saying, I'm here. Nothing will get past me while you rest. Others prefer to lie facing away from you, their hindquarters turned toward your face, not because they mean any disrespect or distance, but because in that position they feel completely safe and at ease. It's a vulnerable trust, showing that they have no fear of what lies behind them when you are near. Then there are those who mirror your every move, curling up close to your body like a pair of spoons, their breath slowing to match your own, their heartbeat almost synchronizing with yours. In those moments, the space between you disappears, replaced by a quiet, invisible thread that connects your souls in the hush of the night. Each sleeping position tells a story, a subtle language spoken without words, woven through tiny gestures and quiet signals. It's a delicate choreography of comfort, a secret nocturnal conversation shared by two beings who don't need to speak to understand one another. These moments transcend the physical, they embody the deep emotional bond that builds over years of companionship, loyalty, and unconditional love. But love doesn't always wear the face of closeness. Some dogs, even those most affectionate and devoted, may choose their own bed or a cozy corner on the couch instead of your bed. This choice is never rejection, it's simply comfort, a preference for warmth or space, or perhaps relief from an old ache or stiff joint. Sometimes, when something changes within you when you're pregnant, ill, or emotionally unsettled, your dog may instinctively retreat to their own safe spot. That quiet shift is not distance, it's their way of adapting, silently saying, "I sense the change in you. I'm still here, watching over you, even from afar." Their absence from your side can still be a powerful form of presence. They don't have to touch you physically to be connected deeply to you emotionally. So, should you let your dog sleep in your bed? There isn't a universal answer. What truly matters is the nature of your relationship and the mutual understanding between you and your dog. For some, sharing sleep is the most natural, soothing, and healing act imaginable, a daily reaffirmation of trust and companionship. For others, it simply doesn't feel right. The key lies in awareness of each other's rhythms, boundaries, and needs, and awareness of the quiet, tender ways your dog shows their love, sometimes through a soft sigh, sometimes a gentle nudge, and sometimes through the peaceful stillness of their presence, a steady comfort in the night. Because whether you fall asleep with their fur pressed against your shoulder or whether you're separated by a hallway and a closed door, your dog is never just another presence in your home. They are your faithful companion, your silent confidant, your midnight anchor. And when they choose to curl up beside you, not because they need to, but simply because they want to, it is one of the purest, most profound gestures of trust you will ever receive. You don't have to ask for it. You don't have to earn it. You only have to be. Simply be yourself, and that alone is enough. In the stillness of night, when the stars hang low and even the wind seems to sleep, that simple act to your dog, climbing into bed, circling once, and settling with a sigh, becomes something extraordinary. A language without words, a promise without noise, an unshakable bond, sealed in sleep and love. It's a kind of magic, one that doesn't sparkle or flash, but hums low and steady through the dark. And maybe, just maybe, that's the kind we need most of all.